Hello everyone, it is your lovely host, the Gaming Weasel. The Plague Star event, after 3 long years, a little bit less, has finally returned back into Warframe. And in today's video, I have a full detailed guide on how to do it with a full team, and also on how to do it solo, which one you should do, and how to get as many Forma as you possibly can, and also make Platinum on the side. So, first of all, let's start off on where you start these bounties. You go to Earth, Cetus, Konzu, and then talk to Konzu. You have 3 different bounties. Now, the 2 that I recommend that you do is going to be the Advanced Bounty, which is the second one, and or doing the third one, which is Steel Path. Now, the standing that you gain is 3,200 and 3,800 respectively, of course, the Advanced and also Steel Path. Now, if you do a couple of different things, which I'll explain in the video, you will get a little bit of a bonus as well, which means more standing, more Forma, and if you buy Exodia Contingent, a little bit more Platinum. So, we have covered that. Should you play solo or with a team? I played with a team. I do not like playing this game mode solo. I think it is actually more efficient with a fully built team. So, go into the recruiting chat, get yourself a team. Someone is going to play either Volt, Nova, or Loki to speed up the drone, and one is going to be basically damage dealing. The 2 Warframes that I pick for this game mode is going to be Hydroid for corrosive, because the Elephantis sort of boss is actually weak to corrosive when his armor is fully reduced. And also Blast, but I don't have a Warframe that does blast damage, or I can't remember one at the moment. And Mesa is incredibly good at clearing enemies because of course, her 4th ability. So, full team is my honest recommendation. Now, let's move on to the actual gameplay. Hello everyone, Editing Gaming Weasel here. A couple of notes that I want you guys to know. For the Advanced and also the Steel Path version, you do need to have the Eidolon Flaxis crafted. The blueprint is obtained through Nakak. You need to be champion rank, if I'm correct, to get this blueprint. And once you've done that, you need to get to your biolab inside of your clan dojo, get the Infested Catalyst, craft that one, have it in your inventory, and you are pretty much set. It used to be on your gear wheel, now you do not have to put it in your gear wheel, just have it in your inventory and craft it. Those 2 things for Advanced and Steel Path, you need to have them. There you go, back to the actual, video. See you there. First of all, the first part of the bounty is going to be going into the cave, going and picking up the toxin, leaving the cave, and then going to the defense target, deploying the toxin, waiting around 2 minutes to defend the target. Here is where I usually switch to my Necromech, activate its 4, and defend it by destroying the actual dropships that come by. You defend it, you pick up the toxin one more time, you take it to the drone, and then that drone is supposed to reach the Plague Store, or the little Plague Bulge, whatever you want to call it. And here is where Loki, Volt, and Nova come in. They speed it up. Well, at least Volt does. Loki and also Nova can teleport it with their abilities, which is very good. You might be noticing a little bit of a trend in this video. Efficiency and speed is key. You want to do these missions as fast as possible and as efficiently as possible. And that is where those 3 Warframes come in. Once the drone reaches the spot, what happens is, after every 25%, a Elephantis sort of boss is going to spawn, and the best thing that you can do is have a teammate that's going to armor reduce it to basically 0 armor, and then if you're using Hydroid or have a corrosive weapon like the ones that I'm going to name, you're going to be doing really good damage, killing that, and then once you kill that Elephantis boss, kill another 25% enemies with your Mesa, for example, and rinse and repeat. Once you reach 99%, the Elephantis boss spawns, you kill it with your team, the mission is done. Hopefully under 10 minutes if your team and you were efficient enough. Now, if you're playing solo, choose either one of the 3 Warframes, so Loki, Nova, or Volt, because you're not gonna have someone who's going to speed it up for you. Now, this is where it's, I think, a little bit more difficult, but also a little bit more faster, because you don't have to rely on other players. Here, all you'll need to, rely on is your own skill. And that is going to be basically it. It really depends on what you want to do. As I said, my personal preference is playing with a full squad. And here you will gain a certain amount of standing, 3,300 or 3,900 if you did the secondary objective, which was basically for the drone to not take above, or to stay above 80% health. And that's how you gain another additional 100 standing, which is very good. Now, how much standing can you earn per day? Does it depend on your cap? No, you can make as much standing as you humanly want. You can basically play all day if you're really dedicated to getting those free Forma. Now, where do you actually go to get, the Forma, exotic contingent, stuff like that? Go to Nekak, also on Cetus, and here you will see that you can go and access the rewards. Now, exotic contingent, after a long while, when it doesn't appear, it's going to be a decent sum of platinum. So if you don't need Forma that much, what you can do is get Exodia Contingent and sell it for platinum. But we all want that Forma. Forma costs 3,000 standing, 5,000 credits, sorry, and it's going to be so good because it's a fully built Forma already, so you don't have to worry about resources. And that is why people play this event. Now, if you're not interested in the builds, that's basically it. That is the guide for you. Thank you so much for watching. But if you're interested in the builds, here is my Mesa build. I do use Pillage, and you might be asking, how are you using Pillage against infested enemies? Well, there is Grineer also, and some infested enemies do have armor, and even Lephantis, the Lephantis sort of boss, the name up on screen, has armor as well. You can also reduce Lephantis' armor with Pillage. With my build, activate Pillage 2 times and the armor is reduced to 0. Less armor, of course, means more damage for you and your team. And of course, the weapons of choice, I do use the Gorgon, or I guess the Prisma Gorgon Incarnate. Now, some other weapons up on the screen right now that you can use that are incredibly good. If I were to show the builds for every single one, it would take it too long, so these are just my honest recommendations. The Soma Prime is incredibly good as well. I have been using the Oxomati, for example, pretty decent. The Piranha Prime, incredibly good as well. And the Fenmore is really nice as well. The melee weapon's not that important, and the secondary, as I said, Piranha Prime, Latem could be good, for example, as well, because, as I said, keep in mind, when Lephantis doesn't have armor, he's weak to corrosive and also explosion damage, or blast damage, so keep that in mind. And Hydroid, this is the build that I use for Hydroid. Hydroid I mainly use for Tempest Barrage, and also the additional, I guess, corrosive damage that you gain from his Plunder. And I love this Warframe in this game mode. He's actually really, really good at clearing enemies as well as destroying or killing the Lephantis sort of boss. So he's going to make this pretty easy as well, but wouldn't recommend him solo. And that is basically it. That's what you do. Rinse and repeat. Efficiency is key. As I said, if you have, for example, Wisp in your team, that would be pretty good because she can set up the moats. If you enter the moat and enter your Archwing, you're going to move faster, allowing you to, of course, finish the mission faster. It is all dependent on you and or on your squad on how fast you're going to finish it. The longest that it took me was 15 minutes, and that was only because the Lephantis boss basically glitched out for 3 minutes straight, and he decided he doesn't really want to, get damaged, and that's how it ended up. But that is it. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. I tried to make it as detailed as possible, and the pet that I use, if you're really interested, is Nautilus with the dragging in ability, but I honestly didn't really notice it that much, so it doesn't really matter. But hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, do leave a like, a comment, and do subscribe for more. I do plan on making definitely more content about Warframe, and I love every single one of you, and I will see you guys on the next one. This has been the Gaming Weasel, over and out.